Peter Obi and his legal team continued with the tendering of evidence in court yesterday, since winning a case is all about getting enough evidence and proving them beyond any doubt before the judges. Many Nigerians are beginning to lose their confidence in the judiciary, especially since President Tinubu delivered his June 12 speech, in which in a section of that speech, most Nigerians say he threatened the judiciary. Also, a video surfaced where an APC chieftain was seen on the Senate floor boasting and telling his colleagues how he influenced judgments in cases his wife, who is now a retired judge, presided over. The former Senate President Lawal tried to stop him from exposing the Senate and the APC, but he continued, saying he tells his wife to favor APC members in judgments as a judge. And up till now, this man has not been called in for questioning.
So, I know, I look at faces in this chamber whom have come to me and sought for my help when my wife was the president of the Court of Appeal. And I'm sure she has been very tolerant and accepted my encroachment and extended her help to my colleagues.
Also, many Peter Obi supporters have been worried after discovering that one of the judges who is to decide in this election tribunal matter has her son as an APC member, and one keeps wondering, is she going to cite the APC over the reality on ground? And you find out that most of these judges are having some partisanship affiliations, and one keeps wondering if justice is even close or is very far away. Anyway, that's not what we have for today. Let's go into the full transcript of what happened yesterday at the election tribunal. Here is the representation. Peter Obi represented himself and the Labour Party. SAN Levy represented the Labour Party. SAN Mahmood represented Inec. SAN Olujimi represented Tinubu and Shetima, while SAN Afolabi represented the APC. The judges were all seen seated, and the Labour Party lead counsel, SAN Levy, is the first to address the court, and he said, "My lord, I would like to seek clarification on something. For the schedule of the hearing, I would like to seek clarification on paragraph A1 as regards the petitioners. I would like my brother Sikh Peter SAN Afuba to go on with today's proceeding," he added. Now the Labour Party counsel, SAN Afuba, took over the mic and said, "My lord, we will be using the petitioner's 7th schedule. We most respectfully apply to tender form EC40GEO for Niger State, my lord. And we have 10 local government areas and a total of 45 forms. We also seek to tender 5 reports from the states, my lord," he added. And while he was still on this, the respondents came up with their objections. They objected to the admissibility and the competence of the tendered document, that they will state their reasons in their final address. Nevertheless, the presiding judge admitted these documents in evidence, saying the CTC forms for Niger State are now admitted to court as evidence and tagged as exhibits. At this point, the Labour Party counsel sought to tender more documents, and he said to the presiding judge, "My lord, may we now proceed to Osun State for 7 local government areas listed on page 6 of the schedules for form EC40GPO. Objections came as usual from the respondents. At this point, the Inec counsel stood up and made a request and said to the presiding judge, "My lord, can you permit I and some of my colleagues to leave the courtroom? We have been served all these documents for the case this afternoon, and we have not even looked at them. It is very important we look at them urgently before the case. The documents are many, and see how heavy they are." The presiding judge agreed with him. "No problem, you can go ahead." The Inec counsel was referring to the fireworks that will soon begin with the PDP. We know that the afternoon session is for the PDP, and they are not even prepared. You could see them asking the presiding judge for permission for them to go out and go through their documents, because they want to get ready. So you can see at this moment they are not even ready. This is as a result of the mistake of Inec INEC is the cause of all these fireworks that is being experienced in court. Because if INEC had done the right thing, I tell you, by now we would have known who actually won the election, and Nigerians would have gone about their normal businesses. But you can see the court sitting and all these ups and downs because INEC refused to do the right thing. So guys, let's continue. Anyway, the Labour Party Council has finished tendering the documents and is seeking to tender more documents, and he said to the presiding judge, "My lord, we have 15 copies of Form EC4OGs for 8 local government areas of Osun State. After they were all admitted into evidence, he went ahead to tender more Form EC4OGPOs for 3 local governments of Edo State, which of course the presiding judge also admitted them and marked them as exhibits despite all the objections from the respondents. After that, he tendered 12 forms EC4OG1 from 12 local government areas of Edo State. Objections, as usual, came again from the respondent. The presiding judge made a remark at this point, and he said, "These documents are not well arranged. How many forms are there? My lord, this is how INEC presented it to us, and we want them tendered in the same way. If it pleases my lord," responded the Labour Party Council. The judge went ahead to admit the documents as evidence and tag them as exhibits. And the Labour Party Council now said to the presiding judge, "My lord, may we now move on to Sokoto State," and he tendered 52 from EC4OG, also 4 reports for the local government areas of Sokoto State, which the presiding judge admitted all of them into evidence despite the objections from the respondents. Thereafter, the court went on a 10-minute break. And when the judges were back from break, another Labour Party Council took over, SAN Awudu Onuga. And he said, "I will take the charge going forward." He is now tendering Irev document for 21 local government areas of Adamawa State. Objection came as usual, raining down, and the presiding judge also in his usual manner admitted them in evidence and tagged them as exhibits. The Labour Party Council at this point said something to the presiding judge, and he said, "My lord, may I invite your attention to page 19 of the 7th schedule. Thank you, my lord." The Labour Party Council was referring to blurred forms the INEC uploaded to Irev for Adamawa State, and since they were not legible, the Labour Party reached out to the INEC to provide the documents, which he also tendered for 20 local government areas of Ogun State. Also, the Labour Party Council made a further request from the presiding judge, and he said, "My lord, we humbly apply that you look through page 21 of the same schedule. My lord, those documents have been tagged and generally blurred." The presiding judge said, "I see Shagamu and other places listed here are blurred, but the shadow is not listed here." "It's listed," repeated the Labour Party Council. "Let's finish with this one and we will look at the other one later." "Thank you, my lord," replied the Labour Party Council. All the respondents, as usual, objected, while the presiding judge admitted all the documents into evidence. The Labour Party Council is now making another demand, and he said, "My lord, can you please turn to page 16 of the same schedule, my lord?" He relates to Ekiti State, and it covers the page 16 to page 17, and it lists out 16 local government areas. "I humbly apply to tender these documents. Thank you, my lord." So the Labour Party Council went further to tender those for Ekiti State for 16 local government areas. The APC Council immediately stood up and said, "My lord, our position to this is strong as Zuba rock. We stand as strong like the rock to object the documents presented and tendered by the petitioners." While the presiding judge concluded by admitting the documents and also tagging them as exhibit. Next on the tendering list are Irev document for 19 local government areas of Rivers State. While the Labour Party Council was tendering them, objection came again from all the respondents. Subsequently, they were all admitted into evidence by the court. The Labour Party Council went further to make a request, and he said, "My Lord, if you can turn to page 6 of the 8th schedule, my Lord, I seek to tender Irev result for Edo State for 13 local government area. Thank you, my Lord." The Inec Council is now on his feet. "We don't have that yet. We can't object until we see the document, my Lord." The Labour Party Council, seeing that the Edo State documents are not complete, pleaded with the court for 15 minutes to organize the evidence. So the presiding judge questioned the Labour Party Council. "So we will wait here for 15 minutes? "No, my Lord, that's not what I mean," said the Labour Party Council. "I mean that I need 15 minutes to tender the document. So which one are we tendering?" asked the presiding judge. The Labour Party Council said, "My Lord, Akwa Ibom Irev document for 33 local government areas in Akwa Ibom State." And he went ahead to tender the documents, which were all subsequently admitted by the presiding judge after all the objections from the respondents. At this point, the Labour Party lead counsel S.A.N. Levy is on his feet, and he said to the presiding judge, "My Lord, we have less than 15 minutes left to conclude today's hearing. So let's resume tomorrow, my Lord. We still have a few documents to tender. We will continue tomorrow, my Lord." Okay, this petition is now adjourned to tomorrow, June 14, 2023 by 9 a.m. And immediately the court went on recess. The PDP legal team started setting up large screens to display their own evidence in the courtroom. So guys, this was how the proceedings for yesterday went. The Labour Party councils were able to tender so many Irev documents, and despite all the objections, they were all admitted and tagged as exhibits by the presiding judge. We are looking forward to what happens the next day, being today. So look out for the next transcript for today's court hearing. Thank you for watching, and bye.
Politics in Nigeria is a case of where lunatics took over the asylum. They must be out. You must replace that asylum with people who are competent. This is the only country where the worst is leading. The best will lead.